Hi guys, welcome to week 3 of your pose journal. Today we're going to be doing crescent lunge or low lunge, either one, dragonfly twist and side plank. And the reason we're doing these together is that they actually string really nicely together in a flow. And so when you start to make up your own, it's a nice transition to use if you want to. So we're going to start by heading to our mats and doing a little bit of lunges. Okay. So first of all, remember it's always really important just to sort of warm up a little bit. So let's head to tabletop. And just like we did last week, side plank especially is going to be kind of a lot on the wrists. So just start to shift yourself forward and backward in your tabletop position. And then also shift yourself side to side and just notice kind of how the wrists are feeling. Maybe take yourself in a little circle. Go the other direction. And come back to neutral. Take a couple rounds of cat and cow, dropping the belly, pulling the shoulder blades together. And then exhaling to round in the spine. Tuck the chin. Let's do 2 more of those. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, chin to chest, round. And just notice how you're feeling today. Maybe a little stiff, especially if you just woke up. That's normal. And then after your last round, press yourself back to child's pose. Let your forehead come down. Maybe rock your forehead a little side to side. And walk your hands into a kneeling seat. We're just going to take a gentle twist here. So inhale, reaching the arms up, and then exhaling to right. Keep sitting up nice and tall, relaxing your shoulders back and down. Then inhale to center, exhale the other way. Find a little engagement in the core, pulling the ribs together. And then come back to center. All right, we're going to start in low lunge. Typically, the lower versions of the poses are a little more gentle. And know that this is always an option. So I'm going to come to a kneeling position on my shins, and then I'm just going to step my right foot forward. And now this is a perfectly acceptable low lunge. And when you're in a pose like this, there are a few different options. So first of all, you can be in this option that we're in now, which is your hips are stacked directly over your back knee. And probably if you're in this one, you're going to feel a pretty big stretch through the left hip flexor. Also, you're going to feel a little bit of engagement in the core because you're stacking in one strong line. So you want your ribs to be pulling together. And then also, you can reach your arms up overhead, turn your pinkies and your thumbs out, and relax your shoulders. And this is a low lunge. There is another variation of this pose where you can curl your left knee or toes under and scoot your left knee back and then rise back up. And this is just a little more intense in the left hip flexor down the front side of your left leg. It's still the same pose. You also can have your hands resting on your thigh, or you can have your hands down on the mat. So this pose is option 1. Now step back into your kneeling seat and let's do the other side, because with these lunging poses and with side plank, it's important to balance out your side so that you're not strengthening or stretching one side a lot more than the other. So we're in this on the left side now with the left foot forward. Right now I'm in the stacked knee, hip, shoulder variation. You can reach the arms up. In this pose, sometimes people really like a back bend. So you start to pull your elbows down, maybe bring your hands to your low back, clasp them together, look up. If that's okay for your neck. And then we'll find the other variations. So just curling the toes under, moving the knee back. And then you can either stay down with your hands down, or you can start to rise up, hands to shin or thigh, or hands up overhead. And then once you're done with that, hands come down, just walk it back into your kneeling seat. Nice. Okay, so that's low lunge, the first variation of crescent lunge. And in your journal, it says you can choose that one or you can choose this next one. So I am going to come to standing at the top of my mat. And then just take a big breath in, breathe out as you fold. Take turns bending into each knee. And then this time we're just going to step the left foot back first. We're going to stay on the ball of that left foot. Then we're going to rise up, keeping the left leg lifted off the mat. So some important things here. Your right knee should be really bent, but you should still be able to see your toes. So you want your knee and your ankle to be stacked over one another. Also, your back leg is long, but you can keep, and I usually recommend keeping a little bend in your back knee so that your hips and your shoulders and your head can all be stacked on top of one another. And that also makes it easier for you to find a little bit of core engagement by pulling your ribs together and your belly button up and in. Now, also in the legs, sometimes it's normal to feel wobbly here. So really squeeze the inner thighs together. Stay lifted on the ball of your back foot. And then you can lift the arms overhead. Same thing here, you can start to find a back bend, really lifting the chest. Or a lot of times it will be an option here to find a twist, usually opening the arms wide towards your front leg, or coming to a prayer twist where you hook and twist. And then really lift the back of your left knee if you do come into a twist. You don't have to, it's just optional. And then when you're ready, we're gonna bring the hands down, step the left foot forward into your fold. And we'll just do that on the other side. Right foot back, stay on the ball of your foot. Rise up. Reach the arms. And then again, so we want knees stacked over ankle. Your whole left foot is down and your left knee has a strong bend. Little bend in your right knee. Feel that in the front of the right leg. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Relax the shoulders. Pull the ribs together, the belly button up and in. And then maybe you want to find a back bend. Maybe you want to find a twist, this one, or this one. When you're ready, you'll just rise up, step forward, and fold. All right, pause this video, take a moment to play with low lunge or high lunge and journal your reactions. Then we'll be back for Dragonfly twist. All right, for Dragonfly twist, it's basically our twisted crescent lunge, except for with one hand down on the mat. So for this one, I'm going to start in my crescent lunge. So I'm going to start with my right foot forward, my left foot back. Same position as before, so really pulling the belly up and in, the ribs together, the inner thighs together. And then I'm going to find my twist. So arms are reaching in opposite directions, torso is still neutral, so nice and long. Start to tip forward with the left hand until it comes down to the mat. Nice. So now I'm in Dragonfly twist. Your arms are like the wings of the dragonfly. So you want one hand down, right underneath your shoulder. My left hand is right under my left shoulder. And your right arm is up towards the sky. And then from here, you can always drop your left knee down to the mat and untuck it. And this is a little more gentle variation if you're looking for just a better stretch and not really a lot of strengthening. And then to switch sides, I'm just going to curl my left toes under, square right off. I'm going to step back through plank and step my left foot forward. Then press into the right hand, lift the left arm, and twist. And really pull your shoulders to square towards the left side as much as you can. If your belly is connecting with the inside of your left thigh, it's a good time to take some really big breaths because that compression is really actually calming for you. And again, you can drop the knee down if that feels better. You just want to make sure that your left hand is extending straight out of your shoulder and not coming really far forward like this, or really far back like this, or back like this. You want to be completely extended in one line straight up. When you're done, just come back to center. I'm gonna rise through my twisted crescent just to even out my sides. And then step forward, stand up tall. Nice, okay. So now pause and try your dragonfly twist either with your knee lifted or your knee down. We're gonna set up for side plank next. Now we're gonna head into side plank. Side plank is a pose that is not really very popular pose, but it's really good for you. I'm also gonna give you a variation that you can do if you don't wanna do the full side plank. So we're going to start in our dragonfly twist, right where we came from. I'm gonna do my left foot forward first so that you guys can see me. And then I'm gonna press into my right hand and lift my left. So here I am in my dragonfly twist. The first option is called modified side plank. And what I'm gonna do for that is kickstand my right foot out towards the right. And then I'm gonna sweep my left leg behind me into this like knee down version of this. Flex your lifted leg. You also can set your lifted leg down, your whole foot down, or you have it lifted. Your left arm can lift. A lot of times in this pose, I will cue an option for people to bend their knee and take their hand to their foot, and it's a really nice option for a quad stretch in this pose. And then when you're ready to come out, you just extend your leg long again. My favorite way to come out is just to square down towards the mat and find a tabletop position. And then usually some rounds of cat and cow if you need them. Let's do the other side. So coming to dragonfly twist first. We're gonna have our right foot forward, left hand down, right arm lifted. Take your left toes out to the left. Sweep your right leg long behind you. And again, you want your right hand to be extended straight out of your shoulder, not coming forward or back in any direction. You also can have the inside of the foot all the way down, or you can have it lifted. If it's lifted, maybe you bend the knee, take your hand to your foot, and find a quad stretch. When you're ready to release, just come towards the mat into a tabletop position. Maybe some rounds of cat and cow. All right, so now let's find a full side plank. What that's gonna look like is, you're going to be in a plank on your side, a full plank. So coming from dragonfly twist, I'm gonna do the left side first. You're gonna be pressing into your right hand. For this one, it's really important that your right hand is right underneath your right shoulder. Your fingers are spread wide and you're pressing into your index knuckle. Lift your left arm. Now, we're just gonna roll onto the side of your back foot. Step your right foot to meet it. You can stack your feet like I'm doing now, or it's a little bit more gentle to stagger your feet. Put one in front of the other. If you really wanna like play with strength, try to bring your whole right foot down, including your big toe. And that's gonna trigger you to sort of lift your top leg into something crazy, like a tree pose, or flip over into this is called wild thing. And then to come out, just step back over into your plank. Let's lift it, the hips into the facing dog. I love the feet. This is a pose that you can't really hold for a super long time. And that's okay. So we'll take the right foot forward to the other side. Now, the first thing and the most important thing is to make sure that your left hand is right under your left shoulder. So really pressing into the index knuckle, spread the fingers. Then we're gonna roll onto the blade edge of the back foot, step it back. And again, your feet can either stack Your arm can be on your hip, or your feet can stagger. You lift the hips that way. Or really press into the whole left foot. Bring the big toe down and see if that allows you to lift your leg into a tree pose or a starfish. And then when you're done, you just scroll or come back to plank. Lift your hips and find down dog. Woo. Drop your knees and find child's pose. All right, so pause and play with that one. Remember that you can totally play with modified side plank instead of the full side plank if you don't want to play with a full side plank, you don't have to. Okay, now I just want to show you one more thing of how I would string these poses together, typically in a flow for you. This with me, I'm just going to take us through the sequence that I would put these together in, but there's many different ways. So we're starting down dog. Pedal out the feet. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Then we're going to lift the right leg up. Pull the right knee into your chest and just step it right in between your hands. Now, stay on the ball of your back foot. Start to rise up into a high crescent lunge. So right back in crescent lunge. Remember, pull the inner thighs together. Relax the shoulders. Use the core. Start to open up your arms wide into a twist, reaching in both directions. On your exhale, we're going to tip forward, left fingertips down, right fingertips towards the sky. This is Dragonfly twist. Now, if you want to go to your full side plank, keep the knee lifted. If you want to go to modified, drop the back knee down. Press into the left hand. Left leg sweeps back, side plank or modified side plank. Lift the hips. Find a C curve in the spine. Press into the left hand. And then come over into plank. You can find a flow here, or you can just press back to downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. Lifting the left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee into your chest. Step it forward. Stay on the ball of your back foot and start to rise up into your crescent lunge. Make sure your hips and your shoulders are stacking. Inner thighs pull together. Little bend in your right knee. Then reach the arms wide in opposite direction. Now you can start to straighten the back of the knee. Exhale, tip forward into Dragonfly twist. If you want to drop the knee, you can. Make sure that your right hand is right underneath your right shoulder. If you're going to modified side plank and you haven't dropped the knee, do it now. I'll go to modified this time so I can show it. Kickstand. Your right foot out to the right if you're going to modified side plank. If you're going to full side plank, you just roll onto the side of the foot. Everyone sweep your left foot back. Flex your toes if you're in modified. Maybe you add the quad stretch, maybe not. And then start to fold over into your plank. If you want to take a flow, exhale to chaturanga. Otherwise, press it back and find downward facing dog. And then drop your knees. Child's pose. And then end your practice by finding your shavasana on your back. You should always end with shavasana, no matter how short your practice was. All right, guys, thanks for moving with me today. We'll be back again next week, and we'll flow together soon. So thanks and bye.